Hi honeys, welcome back to another episode of Ghetto Do It For You. We had a lot of technical difficulties, but we're here. I hope the sound is okay because we are down a microphone. I don't know what's happening. If anyone's a microphone whiz, help. That light is not even on us, but it's fine. We're just having all sorts of technical difficulties. A light is pointed at the wall, a microphone's not working, so you know what? Enjoy the episode. We're here for the ride.
It'll be alright.
It'll be fine. But we made it. So, let's get this show on the road. So I thought it would be fun to go back to the beginning of our relationship. And
That's fun.
it is. Let's reflect. I don't know. I just thought that'd be kind of fun because I was thinking of random things the other day and I was like, oh, this would be fun to talk about. So, how did we meet?
Old Tinderino.
Tinderino, that's a new name.
Old Tinderino.
Okay.
Yeah.
But we didn't actually, so we met on Tinder, but we didn't like actually hang out for like 2 months or something.
That was a month.
Was it? Was
We
it
started
just
talking like Thanksgiving.
Oh, I don't know
and
why
then
I thought
we
it was.
met the day after Christmas.
Yeah.
So, ish, give or take.
So like a month. So yeah. Don't worry, I didn't show up to the bar alone. I brought my friend. I'm not an idiot. And my sister was at the bar next door. We met at a bar, very public location, obviously, because I was like, we're not going hiking in the woods. I'm not going to get murdered. This isn't happening. I don't hike. Or I'm not coming over to your house, like, murder. So, met at a very public bar on a Saturday night, like, right after Christmas. Place was packed, all for it. And he worked Saturday, so he couldn't come till, like, later anyway. So, me and my friend went and drank before he showed up, because what else do you do?
Gotta get the liquid courage flowing.
You really do. I was like, okay, what were your feelings? I was shitting a brick. Like, what were your feelings leading up to?
I don't remember.
No?
I mean, I was probably nervous, but I don't recall.
I
Like,
remember
almost 4
I
years
was
ago.
standing in my bedroom of my parents' house and my best friend was there and I was like pacing and she was doing my makeup and hair and I was like, oh my god, I'm so nervous. Oh my god, what am I going to say? What we're going to do? Blah, blah, blah. Like, we're at
They're getting ready meanwhile I'm still at work in Alabama
yeah.
South.
And it was like the place we went to was a club. Like there was dancing. It wasn't just like a bar.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a club for here. But yeah. But there was dancing. So I was like, okay, like at least there'll be loud music so it's not just like the two of us sitting at a bar like
Yeah. One-on-one conversation.
yeah,
with
and
nothing
that's
else going
also why we brought my best friend. So,
Yeah.
I was nervous because just so many things. Like, you're meeting a random guy off the internet, right? Anyways, so the way the bar is set up, there are tables right as you walk in, and because me and my friend got there so early, we managed to get a table at the front, before you get back to where, like, the dance floor area is. So I was facing the door because I was like, I can't have my back to, like, plus... He didn't know.
up behind you and-
He knew I was bringing my friend, but I don't think he knew who she was. Well, apparently he did, but I didn't know he knew who she was.
I didn't know that's who it was.
Yeah. So, anyways, so I was like, it's better if I face the door. That way, when he walks in, you know, can wave kind of thing. Because why would my best friend wave? You know. So I was facing the door. I would say we were there for like an hour before he got there, like intentionally. Like we weren't like waiting or anything. Like it was intentional. Don't
Showed
worry.
up an hour late
Yeah.
for
No,
the
don't
first
worry. No, it was intentional. But every time that door opened, like me and my friend I was nervously like sitting there. I remember she would say something. She's like, that wasn't even funny. And I'm just sitting here nervously laughing, like don't know what to do with myself because I hadn't actually been on like a date like that in like it had been a while since I'd actually like went out on a date like that.
Same.
Like, I just hadn't been dating. Like, it was like, oh, okay, yeah, I met this guy, but I knew him before. Yeah, we'll go have dinner. Like, it wasn't, like, meeting someone completely, like, new. Like, yeah. So, I was also in a long relationship before that. So, dating just wasn't happening. So, what?
Not same. Was not in a long relationship.
Oh, so, yeah. He walks through the door, and I remember being like, oh, no. I literally was like, oh, fuck, he's here. Oh, no. What was your first impression when you walked through that door? Did you see me right away or no?
Pretty sure. I mean, yeah, because I
It's
like
a small
walked in and then
bar.
you like sunk yourself into the wall because you were leaning against a wall and you just like became one with it. And you barely talked to me for like the first like 10
No way,
minutes.
I remember I pretended I didn't see him.
Yeah.
I remember now. Okay, so I pretended I didn't see him, but I looked at my best friend and I was like, he just walked in. She was like, so wave. And I was like, no. And she was like, acknowledge he walked in. And I was like, no. Like, why would I do that? And she's like, no, Ashley, you need to, like, he's gonna walk up
I
here.
saw it,
yeah, well, she's like,
it's not
he's
like
gonna
you're-
walk up, like, you're being rude. And I was like,
Threw on the old invisible cloak real quick.
I did, but I didn't wave. You ended up just walking up, and I was just like, hi.
Am I allowed to sit? Do you want to be here?
But what was your, like, so you saw me right when you walked in. What was your first impression?
Yeah, you were really hot. I was like, ah, she looks like her pictures. That's honestly, like, the biggest thing is finding somebody who actually looks like what they post.
You weren't catfished?
No, wasn't hatfished, wasn't catfished, wasn't...
He was hairfished.
Yeah, you did chop all your hair off.
So none of my
She had, like, hair down to her butt cheeks, and I walk in and her hair's, like...
Because I had just cut my hair.
Bob.
And I'd cut it maybe like 2 months before, or no, maybe like a month, because I cut it and then I cut it, and, you know, I got scissor happy and I kept cutting it. So I had no up-to-date photos on my Tinder. Like, they were all me with long hair because, like, you know, you get your hair cut, but you don't actually take, like, a good photo right away. So I had no up-to-date good photos that were good for the Tinder. So they weren't on there. Plus, I feel like once you make your profile, you don't really go back and edit it.
Oh, I did.
You did?
Well, not after we started talking, but... Like,
Well, but, like...
I mean, I had my Tinder for, like, on and off for a while.
How long were you on Tinder? Like, the, like...
When I met you, or, like...
No, just,
total?
like, in total.
Shit. I don't know, like... On and off for probably, like, 2 years.
Really?
I had one, but, like, I used it... I was kind of, like, fat. I wasn't fat, but, like... No one swiped on me, so it was cool. You know, really good for the self-esteem. So I was like, fuck this shit's dumb. Or, like, I would talk to people, get to be like, oh, you want to hang out? And then, no. I'm like, alright, whore.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, but then, like, I got in a relationship, so I deleted it, obviously.
What, who...
And then I wasn't in a relationship.
So, like, re-downloaded. So you, like, went back and forth.
Just logged right back in, left. And I'm like, oh, we got new matches 2 years ago. Like, hey, is this still valid?
That's interesting. Did you have any other relationships from Tinder, like, before me?
Mm-mm.
How was your first relationship from Tinder?
Yes.
Huh.
Yeah.
Look at me.
I mean,
you were on it for 2 years, so I don't know. Did you meet someone from Tinder, you know, went on a date, worked out, deleted it, and then didn't?
Tinder,
but it never turned into, like, a relationship?
God, no.
Oh, okay.
Fuck no.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. We've never actually asked those
I met
questions.
one girl on Tinder, and, like, 2 days later, she told me she loved me. So then I block that shit real quick. I'm like, damn, that's crazy. Like,
Okay.
Yeah, me too. Love me too.
Wow, I love myself too. Thank you so much. Okay, well, that's not bad. Like, 2 years on and off. That's, I feel like, not crazy.
I mean, yeah.
I was only on there for...
I was actually at work, and my buddy was, like, standing at the parts counter. He was swiping on Tinder. I'm like, oh, I forgot what this is like. Let me do one.
So, what was really bad... So, I was only on Tinder for maybe, like, 4 months. Like, very short amount of time. I was not on there long. Like, it was honestly started as a joke. Me and my best friend were house sitting, and she was like, let's make you a Tinder. And I was like, no. And she was like, I'm going to make you a Tinder because, like, it's COVID, you know, and I was like, I don't want to meet people. This is not what I want to do. Yeah. So she made it, and I had no bio. I had no nothing. I had my name,
it was a
4
blank
pictures, and my age.
Yeah, it was a blank fucking thing. And usually when they're blank, I just swipe.
Because I was like, what do I want to put in here? And I'm like, I don't know. But I would get in such a bad habit. Like, I would be sitting, one time I was in the car, and my mom made fun of me because I was literally just sitting. I forget what way is...
Swipe right to like somebody or swipe.
Okay.
But you were just left.
I literally was just sitting like...
Ugly.
And then but then the bad thing was I'd see someone cute and I'd be like, fuck, okay, well, it wasn't meant to... Because I would just be like sitting there like...
for gold so you can undo it.
I never paid for Tinder. Yeah, I don't care enough. But I literally would sit there and just...
Crazy. You'll come back.
Yeah, I'd just go, like, it would be such a bad habit. I'd, like, sit and just, as if I'm on, like, I don't even know, Instagram, like, it was so bad, but...
That would do that if you, like, it would cycle through, like, somebody you swiped left on,
yeah,
and pop back up, and it's like, I didn't like you the first time.
Maybe they were like, try again.
Yeah, no.
But I used to try and figure out how do you know who swiped on who first, but I think if it matched right away, if he swiped on me and it didn't match right away, and then I swipe and it matches, doesn't that mean you swiped first? So he swiped first, because I swiped right and it immediately matched. And what was funny, so he popped up and I was like, oh, he's kind of hot, and then I was like, oh, I feel like I know who this is, and I like threw my phone.
Don't let her lie to you. She knew exactly who I was.
Okay,
for
but
like
no, it took me a minute before I was like, so I looked because I think your initial photo.
It didn't click.
Well, I don't remember your first photo, but I think it was a little far away, or was it that gym?
Waterfall picture, baby.
So it was the waterfall picture. So it was far away. So I swiped, and then it was him at the gym, and I was like, but then I was like,
Jesus Christ.
but then I don't remember what your bio said. Do you?
My height was in there for sure.
Oh, I did have.
There.
You can filter. I had 6 foot or above filtered on my Tinder.
That's a thing?
Yeah. Also, if they didn't have it in their bio, immediately swipe left because you're short.
Yeah, I mean.
So I look, right?
I think it just said like.
I see it says Matthew. It said Matt. It said your age, and it said his height, and I don't know what else it said. And I was like, ooh, the height. But then I was like, no, I think I know who that is. And I threw my phone, and my best friend was like across from me, so I threw my phone at her, and she was like, oh, he's a good guy. And I was like, every time somebody says that, it's wrong. Like, every time someone says, no, they're good, just try one date. Like, they're usually wrong, and it ends in disaster. Like, just my personal experience. So I was like, how do you know him? And then she told me, and I was like, oh yeah, no, I'm not. But I was judging based off of who your friend was, and I was like, yeah, no, fuck that. Like, we're not even entertaining that if that's who his friend is. And she's like, well, I don't think they're that close. And I'm like, I don't really care. And then I looked at it again, and I was like, hold the fuck on. I know exactly who this is. So then we had a whole discussion. And I was like, yeah, no, absolutely not. Like, it's not happening. So he sat on my, I didn't touch it.
Here we are.
I didn't sit on, like, I sat there, and I was like, I'm not touching it. She was like, well, if you don't want to, like, swipe on him, just swipe left. And I was like, no, but I don't want to swipe left. But I didn't want to swipe right either. So it sat there, and then I swiped.
There and stared at it as if it's like tainted.
Well, so then I swiped right, and it immediately matched, and I was like, ooh. I was like, fuck. But I never messaged first. Like, I'm not messaging first. So I think we sat there matched for like 2 days before you even messaged me. I don't think you messaged me right away.
I don't remember.
I don't even remember what our first conversations were. But
I actually did. I messaged first.
I
just
just said that. I don't
we
message
sat
first.
and I downloaded it to go to our first messages, and we like.
He did. He did download it.
Sent me your phone number.
So fun fact, I have fat thumbs and really long nails. And when we were first talking, you're talking on Tinder, then we followed each other on Instagram or Snapchat, whatever it was, I don't know. And then got phone numbers, right? Because I don't think we Snapchatted. I think we went straight to phone numbers. Yeah. We did phone numbers.
I mean, Tinder's mad annoying if you're trying to just like text back and forth.
Well, I think it was like a weekend, and then we were like, all right, let's like text. Like, this is getting annoying. So then I sent him my phone number, and at the time I was a waitress, so I went to work, and I worked a 12-hour shift this day. I sent him my phone number. It was a Sunday in the morning. I went into work at like 9 or 10, I don't remember. Sent him the phone number. Went and worked my shift. Would tap on my phone, throughout the day, and I didn't see anything, and I was like, oh, whatever, no big deal. I get off of work, and I am livid. Like, I am raging. I'm like, why the fuck did this asshole not text me? Like, this is so rude. I thought we were having a good conversation. Yeah. He didn't message me. Did I go back and look at our text messages and Tinder to see if I sent the correct number? No, I was just angry. So call my best friend. I'm pissed. I'm like, nope, not a good guy. Didn't even text me all day. It's been 12 fucking hours, blah, 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 blah. Then I get a Tinder notification.
Here I am texting a 14-year-old for the past 2 hours.
Telling me that.
With
and
the
I was
same
like,
name.
I was
not
like,
spelled the same, but
I was like, oh fuck. I had my last digit, I put a 5 instead of
jail.
I put a 4 instead of a 5, and I didn't double check it ever. So now when I write my phone number at like the doctor's office, I'm like, is that right? Is that like?
Also, just so you know, your number neighbor is also Ashlea, and she's about 10 years younger than you.
Yeah, so fun times. So.
Yeah.
Double check. So anyway, he wasn't an asshole, and he did try to text me. I was the asshole that sent the wrong phone number and didn't think to double check it. But then we were texting, and then Matthew decided that he wasn't going to text me for like 13 hours a day.
Okay, that's an exaggeration.
So I would text him, right? And I would think we were having a good conversation. And then it would go radio silent for about 6 hours, and that's not an exaggeration. That was about accurate. And I'm like, what the fuck is happening? Like, I work too. I know you work, but like, you don't check your phone not once. You went this far to get my phone number. You're sitting here telling me I'm hot and I'm funny and I'm all these things, but you can't text me back. And then one day he decided to blow my phone up.
When you were on a date with another guy. I knew. I knew you were on a date. I was like, how
Balloon.
time to fuck her day up.
Literally, like, I wouldn't even get to hit send, and there was an answer, basically. Like, my phone would be down to be like, bing. And it wasn't just one, he was double texting too, so I'm, like, trying to hide my phone.
I'm such a bad, like, I'm the guy that texts and sends, like, 6 messages to say, like, one actual
So I'm, like,
complete sentence.
out with this other guy, right? Because I was like, he's not answering the phone. This is ridiculous. So I go out with this other guy, and of course, the first time I ever hung out with the other guy, Matthew's like, I'm gonna blow her phone up today, and I was like, he'd non-stop, and I was just
Spidey
like,
senses were tingling.
so I never hung out with that other guy again. I decided, all right, maybe I'll give him a shot. But we did have words.
There are other reasons.
Well, I did have. We did have words. I did tell him straight up, I still have the screenshot, that I love talking to you, but your lack of communication is awful. And guess what? We fixed it.
Yeah.
Fixed it almost immediately, because I was like, if you don't, like, why are we talking? Like, this is, I really like talking to you, but like,
Adios, amigo.
a response would be nice if you actually cared. And then I think I said something about, oh, it's because he had so many options on his phone. And he sent me a screenshot of his text message thread and was like, ha ha ha, I don't have options. And it was like mum, dad, his boss, his best friend, and then like
all dudes.
random other like the messages you get when you get like a coupon code. Like none of them were a girl, but of course in my head I'm like, he's just deleted the girls' threads, like, or he's changed their names, like, duh.
I don't care that much.
But anyways, so yeah, then we eventually go out. We have a fabulous time at the bar. Get royally fucked up, like,
Yeah.
really badly. Hammered, like blackout hammered. Was rough. We're at the bar late. We were there till like 1 a.m. or something like that, 1 or 2.
I think your ex walked in. That was cool. I didn't know. I was so drunk. I also don't know what he
I
looks
was
like, but-
facing the front door, and he was facing me, and I could just see, like, barely over his shoulder. You had to have been bent down a little bit. He might have been bent down,
I was
like,
probably fucking leaning into a wall because I couldn't stand.
I don't know. Or he was at the bar. Either or. And my ex walked in, and I was like,
Well, you said he saw me and just immediately turned away.
he did. Yeah, so you had to have been next to me. My ex walked in, and my initial thought was, what the fuck do I do? And then I was like, I'll just stick my tongue down his throat, and he'll leave me alone. So he left, so that was fabulous. But I was like, this is literally the worst thing that could have happened on a first date. But he didn't. He left, so. What is your favorite memory from our first date, if you have one?
Our first date?
If you even have a memory, what's your favorite memory?
I don't remember all of it.
I do remember I asked him to tie my shoe for me because I was going to fall over, and he laughed and said no. And I was a little salty about it, but I was like, fine.
I don't really remember that, but you
This
told me
was
a bunch of times.
that was like we were
mean,
getting up from the table to walk to dance. Like, this wasn't even we'd been there. I stood up and my hands were full. I think I had 2 drinks, and I looked down and I was
That's
like, "Can you tie my shoe?"
That's
And he was
third
like,
date question. That's not.
and he was like, "No," and I was like, so I sat my cups down. I tied my own shoe, and I was like, "Fuck you then." So, what was your favorite memory?
That time? At the time, that was my most expensive bar tab. So that was cool.
At the time,
Yeah, at the time.
that was your favorite memory.
No, I don't know.
Okay,
whole thing
that's
was-
so nice.
The whole thing was really fun.
Yeah.
It was just really funny because, like, when we went to leave, and I was like, "Do you want me to take you home, or like, what are you doing?" And then you just like stumbled across the street and like fell into the back of the fucking car that you were in.
No, you came with me. You walked me to the car. I remember you shutting the door as I got in.
Did
Uh-huh.
I thought you stumbled in.
I mean, I probably did stumble in, but I remember you being there. Like, you walked me to the car.
Finding out that you had a rule that you couldn't go with me to take you home. Even though you wanted to. But you couldn't because you had a stupid rule.
I was just trying to make sure I wasn't getting killed.
I mean, I found out you were a really good kisser that night, so that was fun. And yeah, I'm just gonna leave it at that. We'll have to change the rating and post this somewhere else if we go more.
We were in public. It wasn't that bad.
It was pretty bad.
He's,
We were those people that
He
night.
still married me, so he...
Yeah, that's probably why.
I feel like he complains about that, but, like, still asked me to date you. Still asked me to marry you.
I did do that.
Do you regret your
I
decision?
wasn't mad about it.
Okay.
I'm still not mad about it. It was just funny.
I just thought he was hot.
I mean,
Couldn't keep my hands to myself.
Yeah, I thought the feeling's mutual. If you were ugly, I
Would have walked in and walked back out.
yeah, probably.
Opened the door. Gotta go.
Oh yeah. Oh, if it was a catfish, I would have been like, "Oh, that's crazy. You didn't see me. I didn't see you. Have a great day." What are you doing?
So we moved pretty quickly in our relationship.
Yeah.
We met on the 26th. We had our second date like not even a week later because I was leaving town for New Year's. I was going to Nashville with my friend.
We met that. Was it a Thursday or a Tuesday? It was the Tuesday after.
I don't know. You're at work and you picked me up.
Yeah.
We went out and just got some drinks, and then I went to Nashville. You stayed at home on New Year's and had a great time with your mum.
Mm-hmm.
That's all we're going to say about New Year's. We're going to leave it at that. He was supposed to have a ghetto come down, but those plans quickly got cancelled once he met me, the love of his life, obviously.
I mean, yeah.
And I can say that now because we're married, so it's fine. Anyways, so after we had 2 dates, he met the parents pretty quickly. So I came home from Nashville on like the 3rd or the 4th of I think it was the 3rd of January.
We met at the dog park.
No, you picked me up. You picked me up with Winston.
Oh, we went to the dog park.
Yeah, and this is not Winston. Peaches, get out of the frame. We're not talking about you. Winston is hiding in the corner, but
He's right there.
he picked me up with Winston. We went to the dog park. Went and got my puppuccino. Had a fabulous time, and then we went back to my house, and he met my parents. And how was that?
That was cool.
Yeah.
They were nice. Your dad was busy in the attic wiring lights.
My dad's always busy doing something
Yeah.
around the house.
Yeah.
Winston got to meet his best friends in the
Yeah.
whole wide world.
My little 30-pound corgi met a 200-pound St. Bernard, so that was...
I don't think Matthew had seen a dog that big in his life.
It's funny because now they look normal.
Yeah.
But
so how was meeting the parents? Were you
I've
like...
never had problems with that.
No?
No. I've always... I mean, I get along with anybody.
Yeah, you can. You can talk to a door.
Even... Give me enough drinks, I will. But, man, nice finish you got there. No, it was fun. I mean...
My parents aren't
like-
the type of people that are like, they don't grill people. They
Yeah.
don't... My dad isn't one of those dads that's like, oh, you're talking to my dog. Like, he's not
Yeah,
that
I've
kind
never
of...
really had that interaction ever with anybody I was with. Mm-hmm. So that's never like, oh, everyone's like, oh, you're meeting the parents, that must be terrifying. Or
Yeah.
like, weird, and it's like...
Were
I don't
you
know.
nervous to meet either of my parents? Like, were you more nervous to meet my dad or my mom, or did you not really have any
I mean,
sort
probably
of...
your dad, if anything, because usually that's like the stereotype.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like, your dad came out of the attic all sweaty, and then we started talking about fucking light bulbs, because I had just finished working at
Yeah.
Tamco, and then I knew like what he was doing.
Yeah, they
so we-
were bonding over their light bulbs,
and electrical shit.
and they still bond over that,
No, we just talk about boats.
and airplanes and cars and random shit.
We've escalated.
Yeah, and then I didn't meet your dad right away. I don't think I met your mum one night when I went over.
Mm-hmm.
So because
Dad was probably sleeping.
I'm trying to think. Hold up. Yeah, he was, because he would get off of work really late and drive home an hour and a half, and then I would go over, and so it would be late at night.
9 o'clock at night.
Yeah. So I would go over, and your dad would always typically be in bed, and your mom would always be sitting on her
Yeah.
chair, and so I met her, and then we started dating.
How was that?
She was fine.
Yeah. Nervous.
I was more nervous about your dad. Because it's like, what do you talk about with the dads, right? Like, mums, I'm a ghetto, they're easy to get along with.
Yeah.
Generally, mums are, especially mums to boys, they're more relaxed. So I was like, really like, mums are chill. Like,
Yeah.
I've not met a lot of like significant others' parents. I've only really had one serious relationship, so I've really only met
Yeah.
one parent. But so I was like, oh, I hadn't done it in like 5 years at this point. So I'm like, shit, like this is a little nerve wracking. But I wasn't super nervous to meet your mom. I was more nervous to meet your dad, but your dad is very quiet and he doesn't say a lot of words. And until like 6 months ago, I really thought the man didn't like me. but it's just his
Until
personality.
the wedding.
Yeah, he's just very quiet, and like he just doesn't say a lot, and he's getting better with me, but that's just him.
Yeah.
But I really didn't think he looked at me for a while, and he was always either
Also depends
working.
who's you around.
Yeah, but he's also was always working, or he was asleep, so I didn't really see him a lot for like the first portion of our relationship until you moved out, and then we would go visit them together during the day, because I would always go over that night when you got off work.
Or I was like me, I'd get off at work 8 o'clock. I'd get off at work at 6, drive an hour and 20 minutes home, but I'd go to the gym on my way home. Then I'd go home, shower, change. It's like 9 o'clock at this point. I'd come to yours by like 9:30. Half the fucking time I'd end up falling asleep in your bed.
My bed was very comfy though.
Yeah, she had the comfiest bed and those Tempur-Pedic pillows, and you just lay in it and it's your night night.
Yeah, it was amazing.
I felt bad because I'm like here to see you, and then I just like lay down and I'm like, and we're asleep.
Yeah.
And I wake up at like fucking 2-3 in the morning sometimes. Have to drive back home.
Isn't
get
it?
Up for work at
I think
6 or
it's so
7.
crazy to think about the things that you used to do when you first start dating, because now, no.
I was like last night. I was laying in bed and I'm like, I'm pissed that I'm just now going to bed. It's 10:30 and I'm like,
Yeah.
sounds so old.
Like, I would never
10:30
now
is when I
do
was
that.
just getting to your house.
Yeah, and we used to do it often.
Yeah, well, we didn't have a choice.
Well, yeah.
We both lived at home at the
Yeah.
time. And you were working. You actually didn't work when we first.
I had just quit.
You had just quit.
What I thought was really sweet of you was when you I almost said bought your new place. No, when you moved into your new apartment by yourself, he immediately started a countdown for me to move in.
Yeah, because you wouldn't move in until we were dating for a year or something.
Yeah, well, because he got his new place and we'd only been together like 5 months, and I was like, we're not moving in together. Like,
Yeah.
I also had a bad experience living with somebody before, and I was like, no. So I was like a year, and then we ended up engaged at 9 months, and I was like, may as well live together. But
Still didn't.
no, we didn't. Anyways, what is your favorite thing about me?
Other than your appearance? You're very nice to look at.
Thank you.
Very nice on the eyes.
Thank you.
I like your accent when you don't hide it. You're really funny when you want to be.
You
which
know,
was very surprising.
so I don't know. He says this all the time. He's shocked that I can be funny. I have text messages proven from when we first started dating that I used to be funny, because he used to say it. He'd be like, "Oh my god, you're so funny," or "You're great," or "You're like," everyone's sweet in the beginning. But you used to say I was funny all the time, and then
I
it probably just wore off.
Screenshots of those. Yeah, and then the little honeymoon phase wore off, and then you just start getting pissed at me.
That's not true. Every now and then I'm quite funny.
Yeah, it's true. You're very determined.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Me and my podcast.
And you generally don't give up like on anything easily, at least. I mean, you'll follow through with a lot of things before you give up. I actually don't think you've given up on anything that you've actually tried to do without succeeding first.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's cute.
Yeah. I can be cute when I want to be.
Just like I can be funny when I want to be.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what my favourite thing about you is?
What?
Do you want to know?
Sure.
I mean, you are nice to look at too.
No.
Besides the SpongeBob tattoo on your leg. But...
I know you hate it.
But whatever.
You've been pissed at me ever since I started.
No, it's your body. Do what you want. It's weird. And I just don't get the SpongeBob thing because I didn't watch it. But
It'll be cool when it's done.
whatever. My favourite thing about you is how loving you are and how sweet you are and how big your heart is, even though you like to act like it's not.
It's really not.
It is. Like, you're such a sweetheart all the time, to me at least. Not to everybody else, which also I like that.
Yeah.
But, like, you're really sweet and you take care of me. And I like that. I love that.
It's my job.
It's not really your job, but...
I mean, to me it is. It's not a job, but...
But you like, you enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you like to take care of me. You like to make sure I'm good. Like, and it's, like, something that, like, makes you happy is making sure that, like, I'm happy and, like, putting my happiness first.
I mean, yeah.
That's rare to find. Like,
I thought that was normal. That's what you do.
I mean, it's what I do. It's what you do. That's why we work. But
Yeah, I thought that was normal.
for some people, and not everybody thinks like that too.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. But,
Some people don't give a fuck.
and you protect me. Because I picked well and picked a big burly man.
Call me fat.
No, like
I thought you were
muscly. No,
I thought you were about to
muscly.
whack my stomach.
No, muscly.
I was a little bigger when you met me.
Because you went to the gym and you don't go to the gym anymore.
I was.
You haven't.
I switched jobs and I stopped again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Thanks.
you're welcome. You know, I've fallen in love with you like multiple times. Like in multiple different versions of you.
Interesting.
Like, do you ever have, like, you know how people always are
Like
like,
you find a different thing.
yeah, and it's
Yeah.
like, oh. But like, you know how people are always saying like, they don't have the aha moment of knowing when the person was the person, or knowing like, I love you, or the moment that you knew you were going to marry them and stuff like that. But like, I know not everybody does, but like, I have the moment where I knew I was going to marry you. I've told you
Yeah.
before. And it's really bad to say, but the night before our wedding, something happened, and I remember just thinking like, wow, he actually loves me, because you were like right there, like the whole time. Like something happened and I had called you, or you called me to check on me, because like we were like sleeping separately, obviously, because it was the night before the wedding, and this was after like rehearsal dinner, you know, the whole thing. Like I was getting ready for bed, and you had either called me or I'd called him, and something had happened. And I remember you came up to the room so quickly, and I just remember like it was just him, and he was blow drying my extensions, and like I was a disaster. And I remember just thinking and being like, this is so sweet. Like, I have a good one. And I was like, actually, you really shouldn't be realizing this the night before your wedding. But then I was like,
At least
no.
you finally realized.
Yeah, right. But then I was like, no, because this is a different version. Like, you've never had to really do that before. Like, you've never had to
Well, and that's-
come up when I've been like a mess, or something like that had happened where you would have had to do that. And I was just like, oh no, because like no matter what, like I know that you have my back, and I know that like if I call you, you're like there immediately.
Of course, what am I gonna do? Just let you?
Well, it's just, well, there's never been a time where I
Yeah.
really needed you like that. So it was like, it was nice. And I was like, oh no, I have a good one. It was one of those moments where I was just like,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's cute.
I don't know if Winston agreed with that. Anyways, that was our little recap of our relationship.
Yeah.
Thanks for participating.
Anytime.
Again.
That's why I'm here.
It's not why
I mean,
you're-
I'm always here when you're here. I'm
yeah.
just usually
He
in a
usually
different
just
room.
hides, or I do it before he comes home from work.
That or
But
I go to the garage or something. Not actually, never done that. I usually just sit in the room where I'm not here.
yeah, you deal with the dogs.
Yeah, that too.
But anyways, thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of Girl Do It For You. I hope you guys loved it, and I will see you, honeys, next Friday. Bye, honeys.
Bye.